Welcome back to Road to Fire. Let's review our 5-step investing strategy. I'll provide our real numbers like always and outline where and why we invest in these assets. Number 1, contribute to our company's 401k plans. My husband is an engineer and the majority of his income comes from his W-2. He contributes about 4% to his company's plan, but he just started so he won't be vested until December, so we're waiting for him to hit that mark. I work in marketing, specifically branding, and I contribute 9%, which maxes me out. In fact, in December, I have to drop it down to 8% so I don't go over the $19,500 limit. My company has amazing benefits and matches up to 10% based on years of service, so I really wanted to take advantage of this immediately. The only downside is that I don't get vested until 1.5 years from now. We both have been very fortunate to 1, have jobs, and 2, to be able to work from home right now. It has been a steep learning curve to adjust to this new arrangement, but we've been saving a lot and using those savings to contribute a little bit more to our 401k plans. If your company is matching, then take advantage of it. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but it's a great way to jumpstart your retirement planning process. One thing I will say to watch out for is the vesting time frame. Make sure you know how long it will take for you to be 100% vested to keep the match. We've always invested here first, as this is free money. Each job, we always at least meet the match and try to increase our contribution 1% year over year. And the goal is to always stay until we're 100% vested. So in terms of our monthly investing, the money we put to our 401k represents about 55% of our overall investments. I put in about $1,600 a month and my husband puts in $500. We do adjust based on our income. For example, when we get bonuses, my husband's will increase to 6 to 7% on that given month. Again, this looks at our month as a 2 pay period month on how much we would invest. Number 2, maxing out our Roths. If you're watching this, then you know all about the tax benefits of a Roth. You get taxed on the way in, not on the way out, which is great as your income potential increases year over year. But one new tip I learned in the last few months is about the Roth ladder conversion. It's a great way to access your investments early, which is a huge part of our plan for FIRE. Essentially, with the Roth, you have tax-free growth and tax-free withdrawals. Honestly, this is my second favorite retirement tool. I believe the max is $6,000 for a given individual. We've been maxing this out for the last 2 years and will until we hit the overall MAGI of $203,000. We were at $170,000 last year, so we have about 1 to 2 or maybe 3 years before we all have to be booted out of this program. So our Roths represent 31% of our monthly investments. Just to be clear again, this is for a 2 pay period month. Overall, we contribute just over $1,100 each given month to our Roths. I think I adjusted the numbers in June, that's why the math isn't even for my husband, but according to Vanguard, we're maxed out. Number 3, contribute to an HSA. I did a video on how much I love HSAs and I'll link it below, but this is my favorite retirement tool and I've learned about it just recently in life. Essentially, an HSA is a health savings account that can be used as a retirement tool. I won't go into detail, but you use this account to pay for approved medical expenses. The IRS has a full list on its site, but most preventive care is included. The account is a tax goldmine, honestly. Tax deductible, pre-tax contributions, and also tax-free withdrawals. One of your highest expenses in retirement will be healthcare. So this is a good way to prepare and you get the opportunity to invest this money in this account. The best part is when you hit 65, you can use the funds on anything, not just medical expenses. I absolutely love this account. Next year, we plan to max out this account. For a family, that is $7,100. Our biggest regret, or my personal regret, is not maxing this out this year, but you live and you learn, honestly. Our HSA represents about 4% of our monthly investments, which is kind of small because we did not max it out this year. We are on the family plan and pay about $150 a month into our current plan. Okay, number 4, invest in a brokerage account. I shared our investment portfolio and outlined what platforms we use, but outside of our traditional retirement accounts, we also have brokerage accounts that we invest in. Most of our money is split into Vanguard, but we have money in Robinhood as well as Fidelity. We are heavily invested in index funds, but just recently started building a dividend portfolio in Robinhood. I will share our strategy in the next coming weeks. Our goal is to have investments outside of our traditional IRA, Roth, and 401k that we can access a little bit earlier. We're really not risk adverse, but we have a conservative portfolio right now, which is expected to shift in the next coming weeks. We always want to have liquid investments available, just in case we need it. Plus, we do plan to retire early and we would like to have quick access to cash. Our brokerage account contributions are small right now, but will increase as we finish hitting our sinking fund goals. On average, we put in about $200 a month into this account, but we've already shifted $400 to begin funding our new dividend portfolio that we're building in Robinhood. All right, number 5, funding our kids' UGMA account. I'll do a video on UGMAs versus 529s, but we created an UGMA account for our son. It's essentially a brokerage account for a kid that we own until he reaches 18. UGMAs are good for pre-college expenses, such as private school, individual lessons, sports games, summer camps, etc. There are also no limits for the contributions, but we wanted to make sure we stay underneath the gift tax limits. Your investments can be used for many different school expenses. As my son grows into a teenager and then a young adult, we wanted to be able to provide him with a financial foundation. Our goal is to raise him fiscally responsible to make the right choices once he hits 18. We wanted to begin to create generational wealth so that he has a fighting chance in this world and give him more options. College might not be his choice at 18, and we don't want to have him limited to just college, so we created this additional account to give him opportunity to have more financial guidance in whatever path he chooses. Right now, we invest about $210 into his account, which is about 6% of our total monthly investments. We do hope to increase this again higher after we max out our sinking funds. He also does have a cash account, so a traditional high savings yield account where we put his checks or gifts or cash he gets from family and friends. He did model a little bit here and there, so we also deposit all of his checks into this account for when he can use when he gets older. When we buy anything for him, we do not take from this account because this is for his future, not for now. In sum, we invested about $3,796 into the market monthly. Our goal is to get to $5,000, but we are 1, paying off our car loans, and 2, creating more established sinking funds. So we know we'll be able to get there at the end of the year. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to comment and subscribe below. Until next time.